What is your favorite insult of all time? Your ass must be jealous of all the shit that comes out of your mouth. Expected nothing, still disappointed. Damn, didn't know my dad has a Reddit account. Bob Ross would call you a mistake. Isn't it rather dangerous to use your entire vocabulary in a single sentence? F for whoever got this one. I overheard a student at my school addressing the 8th grade twats that would harass anyone. I bet your parents change the subject when people ask about you. There are approximately 1,010,300 words in the English language. But I could never string enough words together to properly express how much I want to hit you with a chair. Alexander Hamilton. You are not the stupidest person in the world, but you better pray they don't die. Then I'll be praying for your health. You are proof of anal conception. Oh shit son. I'd agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. I get why people talk about you when you're not around. Oh ho ho, this would burn an insecure person. In the 70s, the Cleveland Browns fans would throw paper airplanes in the stadium. Monsieur, a lawyer, who was a season ticket holder, sent a letter to the Browns stating that if he or any of his guests were injured, he wouldn't hesitate to sue. It was given to a junior lawyer at the Browns organization. He sent the letter back and wrote, "Attached is a letter that we received on November 19, 1974. I feel that you should be aware that some asshole is signing your name to stupid letters." One of my all-time favorite burns. You're so dumb I could drop you in a barrel of tits and you'll still come out sucking your thumb. You couldn't pour water out of a boot if the instructions were on the heel. When someone says go fuck yourself, respond with fuck me yourself, you coward. Is that an insult or an invitation? Both. I always like capped. Mal Reynolds to Jane. Well, my days of not taking you seriously are dirtainly coming to a middle. Dirtainly indeed. My favorite Mal insult. I'm thinking you're not burdened with an overabundance of schooling. Are you a professional moron, or just a gifted amateur? Carl Johnson. You're about as useful as a paper condom and you're worth even less. Fun fact, in the old days they used sheep intestines in place of condoms. Some places they didn't even bother to take it out of the sheep. You're not being the person Mr. Rogers knew you could be. I hope your day is as pleasant as you are. One time I called a kid a chromosomal wasteland and I feel like no one's ever properly appreciated it. I would explain it more for you, but I have neither the time nor the crayons. In the same vein, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. You're about as useful as Anne Frank's drum kit. If brains were gunpowder, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose. Cock-juggling thunder cunt. I would challenge you to a battle of wits, but I see you are unarmed. By Shakespeare. My dad, some dickhead must have swapped out my daughter for a stupid prick while I wasn't looking. DDDAAAAMMMN. What did you do? Why to assume that I did something wrong? You have parents, don't you? I thought you did something wrong, too. I shook my hand to put out the flames that came with that burn. That's something a super pissed dad would say to his daughter. If your brain were gasoline, it wouldn't be enough to power an ant's motorcycle halfway around the inside of a Cheerio, either. Your birth certificate was an apology letter from the abortion clinic, or you were as useful as a screen door on a submarine. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt off elderberries. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. When they circumcised the right honorable gentleman, they threw away the wrong bit. Quote, said in British Parliament, I believe. I love upper crust British insults. Absolutely some of the most savage burns, yet refined. As a highly unlikable person, I find it's hard to keep track of all the people that want to kill me. Don't you? Alan Shore, the Boston Legal. Also, there are 10 million particles in the universe that we can observe. Your mama took the ugly ones and put them into one nerd. Stephen Hawking. Asterisk. Epic rap battles of history. Einstein vs. Stephen Hawking. Asterisk. Shakespeare v. Dr. Seuss. My rhymes are classic. Your crap was drafted by a kindergartner high on acid. Why'd you name your company after your penis? Steve Jobs. Asterisk epic rap battles of history. Bill Gates vs. Steve Jobs. Asterisk dick. Gordon Ramsay's What Are You? An Idiot Sandwich. I also like the one where he says, this squid is so undercooked. I can still hear it telling SpongeBob and Patrick to F***ck off. Why did the chicken cross the road? Cause you didn't fucking cook it. Do I need to revive Hitler to teach you how to use a fucking oven? You use so much soil the US wants to invade the plate. Quote. The Rock is a gold mine. But one of my favorites is the SNL where he's working in a Hawaiian restaurant. All disgruntled because he has to wear a hula skirt and sing to a ukulele. And he's like, here's a fun fact about Hawaii. Our biggest export is coffee. And our biggest import is fat white tourists. You clearly have a small dick. You would have had a big one, but you've shoved 3/4 into your personality. On a similar note, if you hadn't shoved 3/4 of it into your personality, you'd actually have an average penis. Damn, did your mother only have plastic coat hangers or something? That's one way to kill someone. Pretty much anything attributed to Winston Churchill. Paraphrased. Sir, if I were your wife, I would poison your drink. Madam, if I were your husband, I'd drink it. Mr. Churchill, you are drunk. Yes, and you're ugly. But tomorrow I'll be sober. If you were to die, the world would spin twice as fast, not being weighed down by your denseness. If I wanted to kill myself, I would jump off your ego and land on your IQ. You're not a mistake, you're a regret. Boss to his employee after giving them his daily work. And when you've gone and fucked it up, come find me so I can fix it. I'm gonna slap the smell of dick right out of your mouth. Female bar goer to female bartender. You'll never be half the man your mom was. It's amazing how you brighten up a room when you leave. You're like the first piece of bread in the bag. Everybody touches you, and nobody wants you. A supercomputer calculating for 1,000 years cannot get anywhere near the number of F***KSI. Do not give. I heard it somewhere. Don't know where. I like using it. That would be from Sword Art Online. Abridged. One of my favorite quotes. A quantum supercomputer calculating for 1,000 years could not even approach the number of fucks I do not give. You fucking donkey. Cantonese, where that translates to fuck your mom so hard she hits the roof. On the roof there's a bomb. The bomb explodes, killing her and your whole family, asshole. Ha ha ha. What's the Cantonese translation? Tucker. There is a very fine line between not listening and not caring. I like to think I walk that line every single day of my life. Red versus blue. Church to Tucker. Don't you have to be stupid somewhere else? Not until 4. You couldn't pour piss out of a boot if the instructions were on the heel. I don't have the energy to look at your face. I am not angry, just disappointed in you. You only wear panties to keep your ankles warm. It's alright, just be yourself. At a bar, my friend ran out of cash for the bartender's tip. He told the tender he'd be back with a tip, and the bartender just smirked and said, "Sure buddy." My friend did in fact come back and attempt to give the guy his tip, but another bartender was there and plainly and coldly said, "It's alright man. Just be yourself," shaming him for what he thought was who my friend really is, a non-tipper. Now I use it all the time. My husband gets up out of guilt to help put kids to bed after I have done the bulk of the work. I just pat him on the shoulder and say, "It's okay man. Just be yourself. Shut your cock holster before I kick-start your face. Shut that cunt's mouth before I come over there and fuck-start her head." Ryan Philippe. The Way of the Gun. No offense, but you make me want to staple my cunt shut. Every breath you take is a stunning endorsement of abortion. You're not pretty enough to be this stupid. When you were born, the doctor slapped your mother. She is nicely dressed. The only thing she forgot to wear are tits, my mom, while watching one movie. You are a lesser son of greater sires. I mean, Maybe if it was true, Theoden is plenty worthy to lay beside his ancestors at Barrowfield. Saruman was a liar and a deceiver. A lesser son of great sires am I, but I have no need to lick your fingers. Turn elsewhither, but I fear your voice has lost its charm, monsieur. Paraphrased, maybe, but what does it say about you that you can't even control me? Supposedly so inconsequential. Quote, I bet your pussy looks like a hobbit's foot. My feet are fucking sexy, asshole. I fucking love your username. I'm trying to suppress that mental image before it fully forms. You think you're the hot shit on a golden platter, but you're just a cold turd on a paper plate. There's a word for you, but it's not used by polite society outside of a kennel. I'd love to see things from your perspective, but I'm afraid that I can't shove my head that far up my ass. I wouldn't give you a lick of my shit. Quote, inbred swamp cunt. You absolute walnut. You're not as dumb as you look. It's like God spilled a person. Bless your heart. You couldn't arouse suspicion. There's a Facebook group called Op Eats Corn on the Cob Longways. Now that I understand fully what you're telling me, I'm even less impressed. There was this dude who wrote the poem. A really beautiful poem about how the 7 winds of the world couldn't move high monsieur when she sent it across the lake to his friend. His friend just wrote the equivalent of fart on it and sent it back. The dude who wrote the poem was furious, and he went across the lake to complain in person. All his friend says when he gets there is, the 7 winds of the world can't move you, but a fart sends you across the lake. Either calling someone a shit blimp or pompous cock jockey. What about a land sea cow? I'm more about insults that leave them speechless or hits them a while later. I'd take my comeback, but it's still on your sister's face. In boot camp, our chief would say to anyone whose uniform was jacked up, that they look like a soup sandwich. That has always stuck with me. Mine would tell us to apologize to a tree for wasting the oxygen. Your mother should have swallowed you instead. Or, the best part of you ran down your mother's leg. You infantile-bilic. CLARKSOOOOOOOON. 2 million sperm, you had to be the one. Any of the Shakespeare ones are great, you saucy bull's pickle. I bite my thumb at the quote. Oh, like from that chart where you can combine any of Shakespeare's insults to make a new unique one? Yes, it was great. We got to scream them at each other across the classroom, monsieur. It was hilarious. Oxygen thief. My grandfather once told my grandmother, if you had a second brain it'd be lonesome. I would have roasted you, but my mom said I'm not allowed to burn trash. Huh, you have a very unique perspective on that subject. Either I've been called worse things by better men, or if I wanted to kill myself, I'd climb your ego and jump to your IQ. I will kick your ass so hard and so much your vertebrae will pop out your mouth like a Pez dispenser. I read it in a fanfic. You are the dictionary definition of mistake. But I don't think you'll find it, due to the fact you can't read. I like a few of them, monsieur. Asterisk, I mean, if they made penicillin out of moldy bread, surely someone can make something out of you. Asterisk, how did someone as dumb as you manage to learn to talk? Asterisk, so when you get dressed in the morning, do you have an instruction manual? Or, asterisk, you look like the kind of guy that has a favorite flavor of library paste. Asterisk, I feel like evolution should have taken you out of the gene pool by now. Asterisk, I hope you shit your pants. On the 4th comment, I still remember, 35 years later, the little girl in my kindergarten class who stole my glue and ate it repeatedly, and I got in trouble for not having any with the teacher when my mom refused to buy me more. If you were any more inbred you'd be a sandwich. You fight like a dairy farmer, how appropriate. You fight like a cow. Weirdly enough, I've never played that game, but I hear it's fantastic. Cotton-headed ninny muggins. Douche canoe. You make sadness sad. Scratching could not make it worse, 'twere such a face as yours. Quote, love their banter. You don't like me, do you, Rick? If I ever thought about you I went from Casablanca. When your mom dropped you off at school for the first time, she was charged for illegal waste disposal. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.